Okay, a couple of things on the EX that will also probably be useful on the Monster Pro, where we have heard water gets in. On the EX is not a big deal because this is the air duct. Oh, I've already unscrewed it to save time. Okay, so you can imagine if you're riding in the rain, the wheel turning, water is going to splash through here, and not the water itself but the mist could end up on the motherboard. I don't think so because the fan actually is blowing this way, but because I like to waste time, I got these filters, and as you can see, they will let air through pretty well. It will stop some of the water or mist maybe, but it won't stop much of the airflow. You can get these on Amazon, either the dirt bike air filter sponge, which would be tighter than these, or these are what you call it, aquarium water filters. Then I cut, and I'm gonna place it here under compression basically. I didn't really there, and once you put the cover back on, this is not gonna go anywhere, so you don't need to glue it down or anything. Then other holes are here. These holes on the back, they actually end up coming through here. I don't think it is a big deal, to be honest, but you can cut a bit of the sponge and shove it in there. I also cut more, and I'm gonna basically put it there. Then we have this hole here. This one. These holes on the headlight don't end up going, the air doesn't go in, it's just to keep the headlight cool. So a little bit of that sponge, I shove it in that hole, and then I have for this hole here, basically there, and this cable will keep it in place. Make sure nothing gets in the groove here. This is where the shell cover sits, so you don't want anything in there. And there, that's it. Now, I don't know, to be honest, why they've put this here for. I can't think how that is going to help with cooling. I'm thinking the more air movement, the better. I'm pretty sure it is for the shell, so the shell doesn't move inwards. I'm going to remove it. The fan blows this way. So it's basically sucking the air away from the motherboard over the fins to cool it down. And I suppose the hole here is to get the air out. The fan on the EX kicks in at 115 degrees and it blows this way. So that's about all I'm gonna do before I make any other drastic changes, because I want to see how hot the wheel is gonna get. I also put duct tape on this double-sided because they take away this paper about this much, and then the shell gets stuck to it. When you go to remove it, you just gotta mess around with it. So I put duct tape there so the shell wouldn't get stuck to it. And that's it. I may add a second fan. I finished with the sponges, covering the holes, covering the big hole here with the same type of sponge. I decided to add a second fan. If I had the patience, I would take the entire motherboard off, everything off, and basically cut the fins, these 2 fins and these 4 fins. Take this fan off, move it, and put the other fan next to it, or just get a bigger fan. But I don't have the patience right now. Next time, if I have to change the motherboard, I will do it then. I talked with Gotway. I gave them my idea. They said okay. So maybe in the future iterations, that's what they will do. It makes no real sense to put a small fan here when you're worried about overheating. But anyway, since I didn't have the patience this time, I just put a fan here. I used the RTV silicone on the underside of the fan, and then to hold the fan down while the RTV hardens, I poured a lot of hot glue here, making sure I don't hit the fans, the blades I should say. I plugged it into the other 12 volt that is always on. I really don't care about noise. So when you turn the wheel on, that's going to be on all the time. Also, one thing, let's see, you guys know when you unhook the XT60s, if you go to put back the XT60s, it's going to spark. I think everybody knows that. So you have 2 options if you care about that, is replace the XT60s with the XT90S, which is the anti-spark. Basically, you cut those 2 off and install your XT90s. I didn't want to do that. So what I made is just an adapter. So basically you plug in your adapter. Right now it's discharged. Yep. So you plug in your adapter. I was going to hard solder XT90s, but I talked to Maryland. He said, you know, you may want to just make an adapter. So then when I go to hook it up, I'm going to shut up so you can hear there's no spark. The capacitors are charged at this point. So then all I do, I unplug and listen. No spark. And you leave it the way, the OEM way, instead of putting the permanent XT90. So that may be of interest to some of you. Okay, I think that's it. It doesn't bother me when I'm riding, so I rather not overheating than a quiet wheel.